So today at church, the father was telling a story about, he says, well, he was talking about how people have gotten to be so rude, right? Um, I'll give you an example. Traffic. Defensive driving talks about, even at work, the videos that I had to watch for the driving talks about the zipper, right? When you're getting on the traffic, when lanes are merging, you're supposed to do like a zipper. One lets one on and the car gets in, the next car gets in, and the next car gets in, and you merge, right? A lot of people here, I know for a fact, a lot of people here in San Antonio don't know how to do that, right? They go 80 in the slow lane, knowing that people are going to try to get on the highway, and they don't let you in, and you see them like scooting up next, like technically tailgating the car in front of them, so they don't have to let you in. And it's funny to me because I know what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to, like a zipper, right? One from the left, one from the right, one from the left, one from the right, and you just, merge like that. And he talks about how people don't do that, they get mad if you try to get in, and he says that you can tell by the rearview mirror that they're not happy. Back in the day, they would, give you a sign to say thank you. And it reminded me of when we were kids. I grew up in a little town, and it reminded me of the little town. You would do the thing on the me and Nick used to laugh about that. We used to laugh to see how many fingers people would, put up on the steering wheel, because, it's like saying, what's up, or hello, thank you, whatever, right? If you pass people on a country road, you would wave at each other. They don't do that anymore. I mean, here, even if you're on a small road or country road, you don't see people waving at each other. And I think people freak out when I wave at them. It's just a habit, from being on the country roads, the real country roads. But it's funny how people don't say thank you or hi or whatever anymore. Now they flip you off if you try to, like, I was just trying to merge. Since you were being rude about it, I just tried to merge. And to me, it was funny because he says, people my age, and I'm like, wow, I guess I must be old. Because I remember when people used to do that and people were polite, and it makes you really wonder what is wrong with young people nowadays, that this society has gotten so selfish. That's what he was talking about. People being so selfish that they only care about themselves. I'm not going to let you in because I'm in a hurry. And I notice it a lot because I still drive a lot for my job. I deliver parts. So, people are just, boom, 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 boom. You see, the thing is, I get frustrated because defensive driving says the right of way. Signaling does not give you the right of way. It means you want to change lanes. It does not mean, oh, since you want to go, I have to stop, especially, when there's no room, and that's what they expect you to do. So they just shove themselves in there and they don't care about you. They don't care if they cut you off. They don't care if they're, I don't know what it's called, reverse tailgating. If they just shove themselves right in front of you, cutting you off because they need to be in that lane. And it's just, it boggles the mind that people are just so inconsiderate of each other. You see it when, you see a pedestrian trying to cross the street. People practically hit me because I stopped for the pedestrians, which is you're supposed to do. And the thing is, defensive driving says, even if they're not in the crosswalk, pedestrians have the right of way. But, you see people not slow down or stop for pedestrians. Half of the people don't even signal or go the speed limit, but that's another issue. They just, I'm in a hurry, so I don't care about everybody else on the road, you know, and it's an issue with me because I always see it as driving is not a right, it's a privilege. That's why you have to get a driver's license, which permits you to drive on the roads. But people act like it's my road, I'm the only one on the road, and if you're on the road, you're in my way. I get tailgated a lot when I'm, you know, especially at work, because I'm not supposed to go above the speed limit. And it's funny that I get tailgated a lot. I get tailgated in school zones, and it's like, because they're in a hurry, I'm supposed to speed up. You know, what happened to being considerate of each other? You know, you're actually supposed to give each other space. And one of the things that I remember from defensive driving is what we got taught in our videos is you're supposed to be 3 seconds behind the car in front of you, especially on the highway, because it gives you enough space to stop. And I always, it amazes me that you see all these cars on the highway, like half, even that, half a second behind each other. And I always think to myself, what if that person, for some reason, whatever, just slams on their brakes? And that's what happens when you see these pileups, is that they're so close to each other, is that they don't have enough room to stop or avoid hitting each other. So they just boom, 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 hit each other, because they only care about themselves, because they're so, not just selfish, self-centered. Self-centered is when you don't care about other people. You can be selfish and care about other people, like me. I'm not a big fan of stray animals, but I got so weak. I got weak, y'all, that I started buying cat food for the little kitties right there, because I feel bad because they're kitties, right? There's 3 small kittens, and I started buying cat food for them. You know, I'm selfish in that I don't want to help stray animals, but I will go out of my way to still help a stray animal when I can. Now, if I was self-centered, I would just say, fuck that cat, fuck that dog, I'm not going to feed them. And I would just, you know, kick them and shoo them away till they left, which is what a lot of people do, you know. They're so self-centered that they don't care about all the other cars on the highway. They only care about themselves. I'm going to go 80 in the slow lane because I'm in a hurry. You know, all you people are preventing me from leaving to work because I don't have good time management skills. It's your fault. You know, I laugh. I seriously laugh every day that I go to work and there's a school zone, because I'm the only one that slows down in the school zone. I get tailgated and flipped off because I'm slowing down in the school zone. Everybody's going 50 in a 35. And I'm like, it's funny because I still laugh because they rush to a job that they don't even like. I actually like my job. That's why I take my time. Even when I'm running late, I'm like, son of a biscuit. I always think that I have enough time, right? But even if I'm running behind, I'm not going to sit there and cut off cars and flip people off for slowing down in the school zone and get out of my way. I need to go to work. From here to the job, every car that's between me and my job site is in the way. But I understand that I'm not the only car on the road and it's not my private road. That's why I don't sit there and act like everybody has to get out of my way, which I wish they did, because the way they drive, it's weird, because I try to change lanes when they're driving erratic, and I don't know if it's being drunk or they're playing on their phones or they're just plain stupid. But here's another thing. I know that I'm rambling, but here's one thing that you do learn from I don't remember if it's a TABC class or from the alcohol class that I took, that even if you're staying in the same lane, if you're swerving, but you still stay within the same lane, you can still get pulled over because you're still swerving. People think that, I'm in the same lane, but you're still swerving. That will get you pulled over. But that's another thing, people are so self-centered that they still drive drunk. They still play on their phones. The one that really amazes me the most is people in company vehicles. I've seen via buses, school buses, cops, a lot of city vehicles that do not slow down in the school zones. I think especially the city workers should slow down in the school zones. But, you work for the city, so you're above the law. It seems like that's how they see it. I know that I'm rambling and I went on, but it just kind of more and more illustrates how people do not care about anybody else but themselves. And one last thing, if you don't like kids, then you shouldn't go through a school zone.